Hello,
Hey,
Pete.
hey. Oh, hello, hello. How are you?
Tired. How are you?
Oh, good. Thank you very much. I've missed seeing you all this week. How's it gone?
I spent most of it being asleep, so you didn't
Oh,
really miss much of me.
well, the only reason I come, so there you go. That's fine.
I mean, you will have seen glimpses of me, like, snuggled up in bed.
That's cute. Fab. Okay. So, how's your day been?
Interesting.
Yeah. What's happened?
Yeah.
What's happened?
We bought a Christmas tree.
Oh, yay! Is it up and viewable?
It's up but not decorated.
Okay.
My love, I'll say that.
Write it tomorrow.
Want to see my book.
Yeah, cool.
Hey, Moo Moo.
That's not supposed to do stuff.
How are you, Nick?
I'm all right.
Yeah, cool.
I'm slightly distracted because I have a new phone.
Ooh, what have you got?
Pixel 4a.
Nice. I was very like. Well, I was almost going to get it on Black Friday, basically. But
Yeah.
But yeah, let me know what you think, because I'm genuinely,
Yeah, I bought it on Black Friday too, because
Yeah.
my old one was starting to not be supported by a lot of stuff. So
yeah,
no, it's good so far. Really enjoying
yeah,
it.
fantastic. Because I'm still on the old S7, which it's great, but it started to not read the SD card for some reason. So my memory's gone from like that down to about that now.
You don't like cheese.
Cheese.
Cheese? It's gone. I must have eaten it. Oh no, here it is.
I didn't see the screen. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael. Hey, Maria.
Oh,
Okay.
Pleasure.
Oh, we're not lined up with your camera. It looks like you're looking somewhere else. That's fine then.
Yeah, can put you up here.
There you go. Yay! Or you can pretend to look at us and then look somewhere else.
So the darting across.
Camera's here, the screen's here.
Ah.
Yeah.
Maria's there, so that's
What is it?
Yeah. How are things?
Very good. Very good. How are you?
Yeah, pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maria's had to do her work. I don't know how the weather is where you are. It's absolutely insane here.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Wet.
Okay.
I got caught in the sun in the hail today. And there's loads of flooding in Edinburgh.
Oh, goodness.
So it's quite nice.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hey.
Yeah, I work with kids with autism.
Hey, Michael.
Okay. Yeah. So I was busy the whole day with that, and then my team picked me up, which was very nice of him. Yeah. And we just started watching a Russian film where they were drinking a lot of vodka, and for some reason we were very surprised. So
you went drinking along with them, trying to keep up.
that's why we opened the little
Okay, nice.
whiskey.
Whiskey. Never.
Cool. And has Christmas come to your house yet as well?
No, not yet. Always in my family, my sister's birthday is on the 10th of December.
Okay.
So we always used to decorate after the 10th.
That makes sense.
So maybe there's no sense of hurry. How about yourself? Have you got stuff up?
No, not at all. I don't bother ever. I mean, I've got my fairy lights up from dance events, so I suppose you could class that as Christmassy, maybe. But, yeah, Katie and Nick, they've got a Christmas tree, but not yet decorated.
Ooh. That's the beginning.
Yeah, that's what it's the smell is the most important thing for I think.
How are you, Jonathan?
Okay.
Cool.
Yes. Surviving, doing.
Yeah.
Not a very busy day, but not uneventful. But that can be a good thing. Nothing terrible.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Hello, Cat. It's cat time.
Right on time.
Cat o'clock.
Oh.
Coming for a cuddle.
She does. She's learnt that story time is like because I'm here at the same time every day. She's learnt that she can come and sit on my chest when she wants to. Come on.
Yay! Show your anus to the camera. There we go.
Come on, be kind.
Adorable.
Hell.
Yeah, she's can be quite sweet when she wants to be. But
Hello.
Hey, hey.
Hello.
Otherwise known as she knows how to manipulate you.
yeah, basically, she's much nicer in the winter time when it's cold outside, and otherwise,
Ah.
yeah, but you know, when she can't go out and do stuff, then she's kind of all over me. Sometimes anyway.
Hello.
Okay. My cat knows how to manipulate me too.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, Andrada.
Hey, hey.
Hello.
Your internet is patchy. We're seeing you as a series of freeze frames.
From about 2 minutes ago.
Old school animation.
Oh.
Hello.
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 Well, that's better. What have you changed?
I picked up the phone from there and I'm holding it in my hand.
That must be the magic thing then.
I seem to be an amplifier because I suddenly have way more bars of signal.
Oh, okay.
I would not be surprised if that's actually true.
Maybe if you raise your left hand up as well, maybe that will help.
You did spend the whole time holding it like.
Your hair looks cool today, Andrada. Maybe it's the hairstyle bringing in the
I'm getting close to needing a shortcut, a haircut.
Yeah,
playing too many video games.
You and me both. Actually, I went to the first stage of trying to get a haircut, and then the one place I tried was booked up until January. So I was like, oh, well. I'll give up.
Yeah, that's it. You're out of options. I agree.
Yeah, just let it keep growing longer and longer.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh.
yeah,
Nice.
like really long now. I mean, like, it's never been this long before. I got at the stage where I might have to put a ponytail in or something.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to compare tips actually, Michael, because I'm similar.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, yeah,
Michael, hair off.
Definitely, yeah. We'll need to go on these tutorials in terms of telling us how to put our hair up.
I think Michael Bro would win. He's got an advantage though.
He cheated.
So Michael Cox and Michael Kearney and Andrada, you've all told me you have things to read. Does anyone else have things to read, just so I know?
I also have something to read.
Fantastic.
You a message in the chat. I have
I've
stuff.
seen your message.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm half here. I'll be really here soon.
Okay, cool.
Jonathan, have you brought anything this week?
I actually haven't. I'm willing to read out something if somebody else wants as a spare thing, and I might very quickly look to see if I can find something that fits the theme. Yeah, something. No, I actually didn't prepare anything, so.
That's okay. My poetry books have been unusually unfruitful. I'm very annoyed.
What? What's going on?
I know, they're just not very light and warm.
Oh.
No, lots about death and
Oh,
love
goodness.
and.
Well, you're just.
Could you just say the opposite? Just say the opposite of what the poem says.
I was going to say you're probably just so light and warm that you don't need the poetry. You make enough of that yourself.
Oh, thank you. But the wonderful Nick is going to read to us.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, are we We are 9:10. Does anyone particularly want to kick us off, or shall I nominate somebody?
Pick someone out a hat.
Yeah, your magical hat.
Don't have a hat.
It's slightly under the shot. We want to.
Oh, I saw.
Sadaf, no, it's Sadaf's turn.
Okay.
Oh, yay.
You were picked by the pointing finger of destiny.
Oh, okay, sure. I will start with one that I really love.
Yeah. Is this one of your own compositions?
Sorry, what did you say?
Is this one that you've written for us?
Oh, I didn't understand what you mean by that.
Have you written this poem, or is it somebody else's?
I actually wrote one today, but this one is the one that we have read through the semester in the school, and I really love this poem. It's from Darlan Thomas called "Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night." Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightening day. Do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright. Their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang in the sun and flight, and learned too late, they grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men, near death, who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on the sad height, curse bless me now with your fierce tears I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
That was lovely.
Recognize that one?
I couldn't hear it. What was it?
Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan Thomas. Do not go gently into that good night.
Yeah.
I actually almost picked that one and grabbed another Dylan Thomas.
So they can't see the underside of your thighs.
I read it as well earlier.
I'm sorry. And those who picked this poem.
No, it's good. I'm glad you read it. I almost did. I went with a different one of his.
Would you like to read that one and follow on?
Yeah, sure. Right. This one is called Light Breaks Where No Sun Shines. Light breaks where no sun shines, where no sea runs, the waters of the heart push in their tides, and broken ghosts with glowworms in their heads, the things of light, file through their flesh where no flesh decks the bone. A candle in the thighs warms youth and seed and burns the seeds of age, where no seed stirs. The fruit of man unwrinkles in the stars, bright as a fig, where no waxes, the candle shows its hair. Dawn breaks behind the eye. From poles of skull and toe the windy blood slides like a sea. Nor fence, nor stake, the gushers of the sky spout to the rod, divining in a smile the oil of tears. Night in the sockets rounds, like some pitch moon, the limit of the globes. Daylight's the bone, where no cold is, the skinning gales unpin, the winter's robes. The film of spring is hanging from the lids. Light breaks on secret lots, on tips of thought where the thoughts smell in the rain. When logic dies, the secret of the soil grows through the eye, and blood jumps in the sun. Above the waste allotments, the dawn halts.
Yay. That's fab.
Who wrote that poem?
That is also Dylan Thomas.
Cool. He wasn't a cheerful chap.
But I know that one's also mildly like it's Hanukkah referencey in a few different ways, which
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. A lot of the Jewish holidays are very much, oh, someone tried to kill us, but they didn't succeed. Let's eat.
Yeah. Cool.
I have a teeny tiny one that might work after this.
Go for it.
Go for it.
It's a little bit from My Brilliant Image by Hafez, translated by Daniel Ladinsky. I wish I could show you, when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being.
Now I have something that leads very nicely into that because it's by the same author. So thank you for pronouncing that, the author, because that saves me a hassle. This is called The Sun Never Says, and it's also a little short one. Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm going to follow that by one by Grace Nichols called Like a Flame. Rising up from my weeding of ripening cane, my eyes make four with this man. There ain't no reason to laugh, but I laughing in confusion. His hands soft, his words quick, his lips curling as in prayer. I nod. I like this man. Tonight, I go to meet him like a flame.
That was Katie. If she reads any more, I'll pull out the headphones for you.
That's fine.
You know we can hear you,
Yeah,
Father.
she's reading.
No, it's fine. That's okay.
Oh.
I have a slightly humoristic one that might follow.
Go, Andrada.
Here is a relationship booster by Rumi, translated again by Daniel Ladinsky. Here is a relationship booster that is guaranteed to work. Every time your spouse or lover says something stupid, make your eyes light up as if you just heard something brilliant.
That's great.
I know, right?
Good advice.
Gonna go next?
Yeah.
Yay.
So being a one-trick pony,
Not a one-trick pony. You have many tricks.
I thought I would read The Sunshine Kid again.
Yes.
Yay.
That's the right answer. Yes.
I was hoping you would, not gonna lie.
If I can find it.
I was thinking that somebody might.
And so I heard this and I thought if somebody might, then it might as well be me.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is The Sunshine Kid by Harry Baker. Old Man Sunshine was proud of his son, and it brightened his day to see his little boy run, not because of what he'd done or the problems overcome, but that despite that, his disposition remained a sunny one. You see, it hadn't always been like this. There'd been times when he tried to hide his brightness. Every star hits periods of hardship. It takes a brighter light to inspire them through the darkness. And if we go back to when he was born in a nebula, we know that he was never really thought of as regular because he had a flair about him. To say the Midas touch is wrong, but all he went near seemed to turn a little bronze. This sun was loved by some more than others. It was a case of Joseph and his dream coat and his brothers. Standing out from the crowd has its pros and its cons, and jealousy created enemies in those he outshone, such as the Shadow People. Now, the Shadow People didn't like the Sunshine Kid, because he showed up the dark things the Shadow People did, and when he shone, he showed the places where the Shadow People hid. So the Shadow People had an evil plan to get rid of him. First up, they made fun of his sunspots. Shooting his dreams from the sky, their words were gunshots, designed to remind him that he wasn't very cool, and he didn't fit in with any popular kids at school. They said his head was in the space, and they would bring him down to earth. Essentially, he came from nothing, and that's what he was worth. He'd never get to go to university to learn. The only degrees he'd ever show would be the first-degree burns of those who came too close. They told him he was too bright. That's why no one ever looked him in the eyes. His judgment became clouded. So did the sky with evaporated tears as the sun started to cry. The Sunshine Kid was bright, with a warm personality. And inside he burnt savagely, hurt by the words and curses of the shadowy folk who spoke holes in his soul and left cavities. And as his heart hardened, his spark darkened. Every time they called him names, it cooled his flames. He thought they might like him if he kept his light dim, but they were busy telling lightning she had terrible aim. He couldn't quite get to grips with what they said, so he let his light be eclipsed by what they said. He fell into a lone star state like Texas and felt like he'd been punched in his solar plexus. And that's when Little Miss Sunshine came along, singing her favorite song about how you're made to be strong and that you don't have to be wrong to belong, just to be true to who you are, because we're all stars at heart. Now, Little Miss Sunshine was hot stuff, the kind of girl that when you looked at her, you forgot stuff. But for him, there was no forgetting her. The minute he saw her, her image burned on his retina. She was out of this world, yet she accepted him. Something about this girl meant he knew whenever she was next to him, things weren't as dark as they seemed. He dared to dream. Shadows were nowhere to be seen. When she was there, he beamed. His eyes would light up in ways that can't be faked. When she grinned, her rays erased the razor-tipped words of hate. They gave each other nicknames. They were Cool Star and Fun Sun. And gradually, the shadowy damage became undone. She was one in a septillion, and she was brilliant. Could turn the coldest-blooded reptilians vermilion, loved by billions, from Chileans to Brazilians. She taught the Sunshine Kid the meaning of resilience. She said, if all the darkness in the world cannot put out the light from a single candle, so how the hell can they handle your light? Only you can choose to dim it, and the sky's the limit, so silence the critics by burning. And if the eyes are the windows to the soul, and she drew back the curtains and let the sun shine through the hurting. And in a universe of adversity, these stars stuck together. And though days became nights, their memories would last forever. Wherever the weatherman said it was not, it would be fine. Because even behind the clouds, the kids could still shine. And the Sunshine Kid was bright, with a warm personality, and inside he burnt savagely, fueled by the fire inspired across galaxies by the girl who showed him belief.
Oh, yay! That's fantastic, Nick.
That's a long poem.
You read it really well.
Well read. I really enjoyed
Really
it.
nice.
Very well read. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely rhythm to it.
It's the genius of Harry Baker.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I've got one, well, a Carol Ann Duffy one, which it kind of links several times to that one too. If that's okay? Yeah, cool. Okay. It's called The Light Gatherer by Carol Ann Duffy. When you were small, your cupped palms each held a candle with under the skin, enough light to begin, and as you grew, light gathered in you. 2 clear raindrops in your eyes, warm pearls shy, in the lobes of your ears, even always the light of your smile after your tears. Your kissed feet glowed in my one hand, where I'd enter a room to see the corner you played in a lit like a stage set. The crown of your bowed head spotlit, where language came, it glittered like a river, silver, clever with fish, and you slept with the whole moon held in your arms for the nightlight, where I knelt watching. Light gatherer, you fell from a star into my lap, the soft lamp at the bedside mirrored in you. And now you shine like a snow girl, a buttercup under a chin, the wide blue yonder you squeal at and fly in, like a jeweled cave, turquoise and diamond and gold, opening out at the end of a tunnel of years. Yeah, I really like that one.
Such a Mike poem.
Yay, wholesome, yay!
Wholesome and beautiful and with lots of lovely words.
Oh. Yeah, well done, Carolyn Duffy.
I have a kind of romantic one that also is quite wholesome that could go next. I don't know if I read this one for you folks before. It's a Megan Falley one, and it's called Your Bathwater is Greater Than Wine, but not the words greater than like the mathematical symbol than greater than, just to be clear. Last night, you called me in from the bedroom to talk to you in the bathtub. And as I looked at you, jealous of the water, I understood why women paint. I wanted you to key your name into my car, to eat the peach roses I bought you that afternoon, just to prove to me absolutely nothing. Wanted to marry you with none of our friends there, just promising each other all our best day on our worst days, with no witnesses besides our own tattoos or other lover. Instead, I got in the tub with you, wearing all my clothes. I don't know what it is about you that makes the bathwater blush. Why I want to ask for your hand forever around my throat. I only know that everything before you was exactly that. Before you, that this will be how I gauge my life. Whether we decide it's a wedding cake and tuxedo, all our best men, beautiful women, or we choose to fuck it all up, you are the invention or the war that marks the century. You are the never look back. There's no metaphor for why I crawled into your grungy tub beside your naked, for how heavy my clothes were inside it, for how everything was so soaked. I had to leave it all in the shower for a week. Don't go looking for meaning. It was warm. You were there. Of course.
Beautiful. I don't think you've done that before.
I didn't recognise it.
I think it was, pardon?
I didn't recognise it. That was lovely. Yeah, yeah.
I think I almost read it the Queer Love Poems days. Honestly, I could have read an entire section of this book called What Makes the Bathwater Blush.
I recognise the front cover. Yeah.
Anyways, the darker poems in here are incredible too. We just haven't had quite as dark topics yet, so most of the clear sections have yet to come out.
I'd like to read one next. It's called The Song of Wandering Angus. And it's by Yeats. I went out to the hazel wood because a fire was in my head, and cut and peeled a hazel wand and hooked a berry to a thread. And when white moths were on the wing and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped the berry in a stream and caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I went to blow the fire aflame, but something rustled by my door, and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossom in her hair, who called me by my name and ran and faded through the brightening air. Though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone, and kiss her lips and take her hands, and walk among long dappled grass, and pluck till time and times are done, the silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Has anyone else got love poems?
Yes.
I really love so. Andrada, you go.
Non-romantic love poems, so other love poems should go.
Well, sort of love.
So let's have Andrada, and then Peter, and then Michael. Kearney.
And this is called It Happens All the Time in Heaven, again by Hafiz. Translated again by Daniel Ladinsky. It happens all the time in heaven, and someday it will begin to happen again on earth. That men and women who are married, and men who are lovers, and women who give each other light, often will get down on their knees, and while so tenderly holding their lover's hand, with tears in their eyes, will sincerely speak, saying, "My dear, how can I be more loving to you? How can I be more kind?"
Excellent.
Oh, that was lovely.
Okay, is it me now? So this is a 16th century poem by an anonymous writer, and it's called The Unfaithful Shepherdess. And I don't quite know why I picked it, but it has the first line in it. It's a really unusual poem for that era. The Unfaithful Shepherdess. While that the sun with his beams hot scorched the fruits in vale and mountain, Phylon the shepherd, late forgot, sitting beside a crystal fountain in shadow of a green oak tree, upon his pipe this song played he. Adieu, love. Adieu, love. Untrue love. Untrue love. Untrue love. Adieu, love. Your mind is light, soon lost for new love. So long as I was in your sight, I was your heart, your soul and treasure, and evermore you sobbed and sighed, burning in flames beyond all measure. 3 days endured your love to me, and it was lost in another 3. Adieu, love. Adieu, love. Untrue love. Untrue love. Untrue love. Adieu, love. Your mind is light, soon lost for new love. Another shepherd you did see, to whom your heart was soon enchanted. Full soon your love was leapt from me, full soon my place he had obtained. Soon came a third, your love to win, and we were out, and he was in. Adieu, love. Adieu, love. Untrue love. Untrue love. Untrue love. Adieu, love. Your mind is light, soon lost for new love. Sure you have made me passing glad that your mind so soon removed. Before that, I the leisure had to choose you for my best beloved. For all your love was past and done 2 days before it was begun. Adieu, love. Adieu, love. Untrue love. Untrue love. Untrue love. Adieu, love. Your mind is light, soon lost for new love.
Wow.
People were writing bitchy love songs way before I thought they were.
Exactly.
It's so interesting.
I know.
Somebody was really angsty about that untrue love.
Yeah, didn't like that at all. Poor shepherd.
Oh,
I wonder if it ever had a melody to it, because it almost sounded like
Yeah.
there was this chorus that.
Yeah, you could totally imagine like Taylor Swift singing that.
He was playing the tune upon his pipe. So
if you get me the words to that, I can't play old timey music, but I will try to put a banjo riff to that.
Cool. I'll get it to you.
Or we could forward it to the Folkcore on YouTube that makes modern day music played on like lutes and kind of old timey stuff. It's really cool.
It's great.
Well, I've got one that links in terms of sunlight and that sort of thing, if that works.
I mean, we were going to have Michael next. Are you okay with
that? Oh, sorry, no, go for it. No, sorry, yeah, I forgot about
that. I'll do one about sunlight. It's a Robert Louis Stevenson one about the winter sun that starts off, and with quite a nice description of the winter sun. Late lies the wintry sun abed, a frosty, fiery, sleepy head. Blinks but an hour or two, and then a blood-red orange sets again. Before the stars have left the skies, at morning in the dark I rise, and shivering in the nakedness, by the cold candle bathe and dress. Closed by the jolly fire I sit to warm my frozen bones a bit, or with the reindeer sled explore the colder countries round the door. When to go out, my nurse doth wrap me in a comforter and cap, and the cold wind burns my face and blows its frosty pepper up my nose. Black are my steps on silver sod, thick blows my frosty breath abroad, and tree and house and hill and lake are frosted like a wedding cake.
That's amazing. Love it.
I'd say like I might as well read the one. I was going to share one that I wrote a long time ago. It was kind of on the same kind of winter.
I'd love to hear that.
Winter sun.
Go for it.
Theme. It's kind of called the inadequacy of yellow. A poet might call you gold, seeing you set down on the loch, reflected in the blue back, bound by snow and ice, slowly painting the whole world in your glow. Calls to mind vast unearned riches, hung round necks or hidden holes, guarded by dragons and police. But really the word is yellow for the light that you shine. Teletubbies and traffic cones, a useless team in Norwich, the flicker, wisp of warmth at the top of a flame, the glen become a hearth, yellow engulfing whole white hills, shimmers on crystal carpets, bare branches dyed in a gentle heat, cozy through misty breath. Moments pass from in to out, and the hands are rubbed together, and the eyes cast round once more, and where once were tender yellow rays, now is splendid salmon pink, for all the glory that conveys.
That's
excellent.
Really cool.
Really like that.
Very much.
I always really enjoy your work. So good.
Thank you. I like the pink stuff.
Am I okay next?
Yep.
I can't remember what the order was. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought of a similar theme actually, I think. So this one's by me. It's called Polar Night, inspired by, I guess, the days of endless night up in Sweden, that sort of thing. So Polar Night. For an endless month, the sun has slumbered, struggled to lift its weary head past the icy peaks. An everlasting day of dark, broken at last by a molten bulb peeping out and filling the sky with colours of fire. A rising lion ready to roar, it pours its warmth all over us.
Yes, I was so glad today that I did not live in Shetland. Because like the sun sets at 4 o'clock here at the moment. Maybe it doesn't rise in Shetland at the moment.
It's good to see the sun sometimes, I think.
It is.
Yes. Even like well, saying that, I was outside for about 2 hours having a walk today, and it was just grey overcast the whole day.
Yeah, I think last time I saw you, or maybe it was the time before, you were looking at a few shades redder. Yeah, I think you got caught in the sun or something.
Oh yeah. It's like just I suppose I'm just so easily sunburned, though. It doesn't really say much about the sun, more about my skin.
Yeah.
Would you like to close off the sun theme?
Yeah, I can do that. This one is a Hanukkah themed poem because it starts this week, and that's where my head is at. So for a little bit of context for folks who don't know much about Hanukkah, the dreidel game, like the spinning top, it's actually a gambling game. Reference that'll come up in here. And is there anything else? Latkes traditionally fried in oil, as well as the miracle of Hanukkah is that there was an oil lamp that burned for 8 days that was only supposed to last for 1, which is the very short version of the miracle of Hanukkah. And I think everyone else knows about lighting candles during the nights and stuff. So. It's called Season of Skinny Candles by Marge Piercy. A row of tall, skinny candles burns quickly into the night. Ere the shame rays over the rest for its hard work. Darkness rushes in after the sun sinks like a bright plug pull. Our eyes drown in the night, thick as ink pudding. When even the moon starves to a sliver of a quicksilver, the little candles poke holes in the blackness. A time to eat fat and oil. A time to gamble for pennies and gamble.
Excellent.
That's really cool.
I'm going to make some latkes this week. I'm really excited about it.
When is Hanukkah this year?
It starts on the 10th.
My sister's birthday. So.
Start decorating that tree.
Yeah.
Because I'd seen the dreidel before, but I didn't know it was a game or a gambling thing.
Yeah, so each of the letters stands for a word. So if you're in Israel, one of the letters will be different. And there it says a great miracle happened here. And in other places it stands for a great miracle happened there. So one of them you get to take all the money in the pot, one's half, one is none, and one is you give some of your money to the pot.
Okay.
It's one of those things that's funny. They used to play it with money and then they started giving kids chocolate coins to gamble with instead.
That's cute.
So we've had a lot of sunlight. I know that there are still some people with poems to read. Are there any themes, or would you just like to throw poetic enthusiasm at us all?
I have a nighttime one that's like specifically a night one, and I think that's about it themes wise.
One. Sorry, I thought you stopped.
Oh, that's okay. I just was like, oh yeah, and I have one more little Hanukkah one. What else do you have?
I have two that are more abstractly related in the sense that it's more like feelings that could relate to light and warmth rather than them literally. And All That Is Gold Does Not Glitter by Tolkien to
cool.
finish off the literal light bits.
I have two poems about blindness.
Okay. And Sadaf, do you have one?
I have one about the drama, the light and warmth given through the drama, like TV show, something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, that's emotional.
Cool. So let's do some drama and then some blindness and then some night and then go back into warmer feels.
Themes.
Oh, my night one is a lone feels one, so it's good.
So this poem is called Light and Warm. There was a time my life was hard, even though there were lots of people around, but felt like there was none. Struggling with life, drama popped into it, brightened it like a light brightens the darkness. From teenage years till now, drama has been my friend. It has accompanied me all these years like a trustworthy companion. When I talk about the drama with people, they think I watch it for fun, as they do. But that's not the case. That's not the reason, at least not for me. I watch drama because I can forget all my sorrows, my sadness, and all the problems that I'm facing and struggling with. I don't watch drama to spend my time, or because I'm addicted to it as people think I am. I watch because I want to forget life and everything related to it. When I watch a drama, I feel like I'm the person who plays in it, and actors whose life is changing, even in hard and critical moments, instead of stopping at that moment, making you feel lonely and giving you sadness. Drama hasn't only been a friend of mine, but an educator as well. It taught me how to be strong, brave, and confident. It taught me how to deal with my fears and helped me solve my biggest question of life. What do I want to be? The question people ask you a lot when you're growing up and you have no answer most of the time. Drama is like a candle which brings both light and warmth into my life. And I'm like a butterfly around it. And like a butterfly flying around it, getting warmth and happiness to it.
A great poem.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you.
Ivan, you're making noise.
I thought it was Sadaf making the noise.
Oh, maybe it was.
I think she has a telly on in the background.
Oh, there was actually my brother who just came. He's 4 years old and he always makes noises. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
It's usually Ivan. Sorry, Ivan, for falsely accusing you.
I don't know if Ivan's microphone's even hooked up.
I like how no one told him for ages. Oh.
Shall I carry on with blindness, Kate? So we'll see how we get on with The Blind Boy. The Blind Boy is written by a guy called Cibber, who I've never heard of, who lived about the same time as Pope, so about the 18th century. The Blind Boy. Oh, say, what is that thing called light, which I must never enjoy? What are the blessings of the sight? Tell your poor blind boy. You talk of wondrous things you see. You say the sun shines so bright. I feel him warm. But how can he be or make it day or night? My day or night myself I make, when I sleep or play. And could I ever keep awake with me, 'twere was always day? With heavy sighs, I often hear you mourn my hapless woe. But sure with patience, I can bear a loss I ne'er can know. Then let not what I cannot have my cheer of mind destroy. While thus I sing, I am a king, although a poor blind boy. So he was always blind, and I think Milton, it's a very brief poem by Milton, who was a bit earlier on. Milton can't have been blind all the time, otherwise he wouldn't be able to write any poems. But anyway, he obviously became blind at some point because he writes this poem called On His Blindness. When I consider how my light is spent ere half my days in this dark world and wide, and that one talent which is death to hide, lodged with me, useless, though my soul more bent to serve herewith my master, and present my true account, lest he returning chide. Doth God exact day labour, light denied? I fondly ask. But patience, to prevent that murmur, soon replies, God doth not heed either man's work or his own gifts, who best bear his mind yoke. They serve him best. His state is kingly. Thousands at his bidding speed and post o'er land and ocean without rest. They also serve who only stand and wait. Now that last line, I have heard that last line so often over the years. They also serve who only stand and wait, and I had no idea where it came from.
Okay.
Me too.
There it is.
Cool.
I think I'd rather be blind than deaf. I've often thought that. So there's Milton saying he's not too bad, you know, it's not that bad.
Jonathan, would you like to read? You have vanished from our screens.
Back.
Whoa.
So this is a poem suggested by Katie. If I have it. Where is it? It's called The Tiger by William Blake.
Oh, great.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what a mortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? What the hammer? What the chain? In what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil? What dread grasp dare its deadly terrors clasp? When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry?
Excellent.
Thank you for reading that for me, Jonathan.
Thank you, Katie, for giving me that chance.
I haven't heard that in ages. Is it nighttime time?
I think it's nighttime time.
Nighttime time.
Nighttime time. Cool. Going back to Megan Sally again.
Oh.
Her partner's name is Andrea, who's mentioned in this one. It's called Window, after Jack McCarthy. Every night, I'd feel his 9 p.m. shadow on my forehead say, "Good night, Megan. Thanks for being my daughter. I love you." And tuck the covers up under my chin. Eventually, I grew too cool for the ritual of, "Good night, Megan. Thanks for being my..." And I'd finish his sentence, "Daughter, I love you, good night," or yawn, or pretend I was already sleeping. He knew he was losing me then. The way you lose a dream, the way pillows lose their fluff, unsure where they actually go. After that, he'd still come in with the moon, but different. Say, "Good night, Megan. Thanks for being my doorknob. I love you." The first time I unzipped a belly of laughter, demand he try again. "Good night, Megan. Thanks for being my window. I love..." And I'd cut him off, a protest of many fits. He'd say, okay. Good night, Megan. Thanks for being my nightlight. Bye." And it worked like he planned. I miss the old affection. And every night from then on, he'd declare his love for the wood floor,
the closet, the street lamp, and the sky cast orange from the quilt of snow outside, before settling on me. Andrea, tonight you are 1,000 miles away. In a bed I have also known, and I want to call you and say, good night, darling. Thanks for being my darling. I love you. But then, are you not also my nightlight? My lava lamp? Not also my window? Have I not loved a few false objects strewn around my bedroom before finally, you?
Great poem.
That's so cute.
I miss you guys.
That was lovely.
Thanks for being my doorknob.
Oh, right. I also love the all one words in italics. Thanks, I love you, good night. I totally did that. I was so that kid.
No. Oh.
Katie, was there anything else? Is that where we're ending?
No, we have Andrada.
Okay. Right.
But you said you had another one? Do you want to do that?
I could do the little Hanukkah poem and then let Andrada. I'm very excited for Tolkien. I can't believe I forgot.
Okay.
Cool. It's The Coming of Light by Mark Strand. Even this late, it happens. The coming of love, the coming of light. You wake and the candles are lit as if by themselves. Stars gather, dreams pour into your pillows, sending up warm bouquets of air. Even this late, the bones of the body shine, and tomorrow's dust flares into breath.
I also have Kindness by Naomi Shihab Nye, and it's a little bit heart-wrenching, but it's also utterly lovely at the end.
Go.
Looking
Get
for
your
my
teddies, everyone. Get your teddies, everyone.
I'm gonna go get some tissues.
Oh.
I know myself, and I know Naomi Shihab Nye's work enough.
Is everyone emotionally prepared?
I can also not read it if you're not up for it.
No.
No, you don't have it.
Okay. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go, so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and ride thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers eating maize and chicken will stare at the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he too was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to gaze at bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere like a shadow or a friend.
Can't really do poetry time without at least one night I wish you have 9 poem with it.
Oh.
Not totally with that.
I know, right?
That's the COVID era all over, isn't it? Because, I mean, I know that's a very deep poem, but, you know, we just been speaking to our neighbors today, and we've spoken to them so much in the last 6 months that we never spoke to them before. And, you know, you walk down the street and you meet somebody you haven't seen for years, and you sit and chat to them for 10 minutes because, well, if you don't do that, when are you next going to speak to somebody? This is really important. You know, you suddenly realize what you've lost if you don't have it.
I think it's really just made the lack of connection in daily life abundantly clear.
Yeah. And it's coming to an end.
Knock on wood.
Ooh, I had one that I wasn't sure about, but it's so relatable to the thing that we just talked about.
Okay, carry on.
It's called Don't Hesitate by Mary Oliver. If you suddenly and unexpectedly feel joy, don't hesitate. Give in to it. There are plenty of lives and whole towns destroyed or about to be. We are not wise and not very often kind, and much can never be redeemed. Still, life has some possibility left. Perhaps this is its way of fighting back, that sometimes something happens better than all the riches or power in the world. It could be anything, but very likely you notice it in the instant when love begins. Anyway, that's often the case. Anyway, whatever it is, don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy is not made to be a crumb.
That's lovely.
It's bad.
They're all waiting for Tolkien now.
Yeah, we are. Not that we don't know it all by heart.
I mean, I could also just listen to you read forever. That's cool too. Keep reading.
I didn't know blindness was a possible option because I sure have one by Edwin Morgan.
I mean, I could listen to you and just like Edwin Morgan off each other.
Can someone get us the same collection, and can we do that one standalone Sunday if we're having troubles getting something?
I mean, we haven't got anyone for tomorrow.
I don't have a copy. I need Edwin Morgan. There's no one for tomorrow?
No.
Oh.
I know.
Do you want me to just pull out Charles the Lint one? I can just read another one from the same collection as last time.
I mean, I could read Tolkien's letters that he wrote to his children from Santa.
Ooh.
That's cute. Mine was not festive, so that sounds adorable. I'm very pro the festive ramp up, if you're up for it.
Sorry, Andrada, we got distracted.
That's fine. I was thinking that I could possibly read something.
Why don't we all turn up tomorrow night and then see who feels like reading?
Yeah, that sounds like fun. You can just like hang out and see who feels like reading what and hang out. Okay.
All that is gold does not glitter by J.R.R. Tolkien. All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. From the ashes a fire shall be woken, a light from the shadows shall spring. Renewed shall be the blade that was broken, the crownless again shall be king. Yay.
Right, come on, we have to follow that one. There's one stuck on the wall here. Written by Katie. Well, written by Tolkien. Written by Tolkien, and Katie wrote it out in Tolkien's script.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
And it's not. It's. I always think of it as a slightly depressing poem, but it's beautiful poem. It's called "I Sit Beside the Fire," and for those who don't know the story, this is Bilbo's poem, which he reads out of his own head. I think whenever he's saying goodbye to his pals in Rivendell, is that right? Anyway, you'll know, Kate's. I sit beside the fire. I sit beside the fire and think of all that I have seen, of meadow flowers and butterflies and summers that have been, yellow leaves, gossamer and autumns that there were, with morning mist and silver sun and wind upon my hair. I sit beside the fire and think of how the world would be when winter comes without a spring that I shall ever see. For still there are so many things that I have never seen. In every wood and every spring there is a different green. I sit beside the fire and think of people long ago, and people that will see a world that I shall never know. But all the while I sit and think of times there were before. I listen for returning feet and voices at the door. Maybe you should have a Tolkien evening one night and just read all his poems.
Also a great idea.
Some of them are really long.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo.
In Elvish as well.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yes.
I went to a Lord of the Rings themed wedding, and they did read one of the Elvish poems, and it was really great.
Good.
Like the entire bridal party was in cosplay. Her dad's an actual priest, and like even went like full on cosplay to do the ceremony. She made her own dress with like long elven sleeves and stuff. It was so good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just so long as there's no Tom Bombadil, I'm happy.
So long as there's no what?
Tom Bombadil.
Tom Bombadil has some great songs.
He's the most annoying character I think I've ever known in a book.
Really?
I find him utterly awful.
More so than Dobby.
I was gonna say Malfoy, just like, but Daddy.
If anyone wants some prime Harry Potter smut, then you should talk to Em.
Or show up on New Year's. We're gonna get trashed and read trash. You know. Good night for UK time, folk. It'll be a good time. I'm gonna wear something sparkly. Highly recommend dressing in sparkles or whatever makes you feel like trash. You can wear a trash bag if you want. I would be very impressed if somebody showed up dressed like trash. Anyways, it'll be a fun night to say goodbye to a year that's been really warm, thanks to you folks and some other stuff, but also kind of a trash year.
Yeah.
Also, I just really like saying trash now. I can't.
Does anyone have anything else, or shall we declare official poetry time over?
Not related to the theme. I've got 2 new books, you know, there's a lot in them.
What did you get?
The Poetry Pharmacy and the Poetry Pharmacy Returns. They are 2 collections gathered by William Sieghart, who...
The dude from the video you showed me, right?
Yes. The video that I shared was introducing the first one, but he made another one in the meantime because there was such good response to it, and people were like, oh, hey, there's this poem and this poem, and there's collection number 2. And it's really cool because it's got the poem on one side, and it's also got like the condition and a little bit of wise words to go with it.
Oh, that's lovely. That's a really great idea. And like, I love the concept of a poetry pharmacy where you go in and you tell them what's up with you and they prescribe you a poem, you know? It's so good. What a concept.
There are some seriously heart-wrenching ones about parenting.
We can try poems one day. Oh, we should do a heart-wrenching day. I mean, for when people get crying and, you know, and giving into all the darkness, and then end it with Michael Cox's entire collection. I'll feel better.
Oh, bless you, Em.
We're doing death next year.
Yes, I found a bunch for death.
I think everyone has a bunch for death. We might need to do like a death marathon.
Yeah. I might be on holiday that week.
I also found some humoristic sort of Storytime potentials.
I found an absolutely filthy Liz Berry poem that I have requested that Bina reads next Storytime.
Woo! Oh my god.
I read it for Nick.
Can you send it to me for science?
For academic purposes.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually really excited about when Michael hosts his rude section, because I have been waiting for an excuse to read a very specific poem from this book called, what is it? Why So Many Penises? Or should I say, Peni? Waiting for it, eagerly.
Sounds good. Sounds perfect. Yep. Anything rude and or Scottish for Burns now. That's sick Burns.
Oh yeah, I love the name of that. That's pretty it's epic.
Yeah. So yeah, like all my poems are rude and Scottish, so like that's.
Well, they're not all rude. The one you read today wasn't rude.
That's true. It's true.
The ones you write for your class aren't rude.
Generally not, no. But there's a reason why I've got a password protection on my website. a lot of very rude ones. So the Epic of Shit is the one that I really want to share. It's kind of my favorite that I've written.
It was a wedding gift, by the way, as well.
A wedding gift, yeah.
Wow.
What a name for a wedding gift.
Yeah.
I just love how we all just are like, hey, I have poems that go with this theme. Can we do this theme? And Frankie's like, do you want to host it? And we're like, well, okay then, most of the time. I'm just checking out the future ones because I didn't even realize we had death coming up.
It's not scheduled yet. I think it's scheduled for when things get slightly more normal and everyone isn't so depressed.
Fair.
But me and Bina and Andrea are all keen to host. So
can we make it be like just like death and loss so that other loss can tie in there? Would that be possible? And like I have a lot of loss, but not specific death. I mean
we could have a separate loss.
That's true.
There are so many death poems, though. You could go on and on
and then have
on
another
for
one
hours.
about grief, because you know it's also related.
I could do February, month of February, and then.
Yeah, when we can all go and hug people, we'll have a month of depressing poetry times.
Counterbalance, you know. It's dangerous to be so happy.
I feel like we could almost do like a double session of poetry time where we do death for the first half and life for the second. And have it be like a 2-hour marathon session so that we can do like an hour of depressing and then an hour of joy.
Yeah, you might need to balance it.
But also that'd be really long. And, you know, for me, it's 3 till 5 in the afternoon / evening. So that's less late.
I mean, our first poetry time was like 3 hours long.
Yeah, that's true.
And everyone was still raring to go at the end.
I reckon the next dance event that we eventually happen to be able to do, we could have a poetry track.
It actually would be really lovely to just like have a poetry time lunch, or for like anyone who wants to come to just hang out and eat lunch together and read poetry while we all just sit around a table and enjoy each other's company.
I mean, we could just take poetry time on tour to every dance event.
I mean, yes.
Whether they want it or not.
Can you guys just zoom me into all the ones I'm still over the ocean for?
Apparently, in monasteries in the old days, they used to eat in silence. And somebody read all the time from the Bible at that time, of course.
Good idea.
So you could read poems.
I don't think you could shut everyone up.
That's why that's the problem.
Yeah, we'd all be too excited to see each other's the other side of that. Well,
You look lovely today, Em, by the way.
oh, cute. I was gonna ask if you should sleep with the gadget crew, but I'll just sit here and take your lovely compliments.
We're gonna head off, guys.
Okay.
Night.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Thanks for contributing.
Oh,
Yeah. Have a great week.
For all the wonderful poems. I love the talking one. Have a good week, guys.
Good to see you. Bye.
See you soon.
I'm going as well, Kate. So I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
Night night.
Bye.
Bye. Have we done a shout out to the catch-up crew? Or is...
We haven't, because no one knows what happens with these recordings and catch-up crews.
I watch the ones that I'm not at sometimes, and I will go back and re-listen to them to hunt for poems. But
Let's all send love to the catch-up crew then, but we can't say bye because the recording's not going to stop.
Yeah, that's true.
We tell Frankie. She stops it.
Oh,
she goes it off.
Cool. Bye, catch-up crew.
Bye, catch-up crew.
We love you. Bye, future M.
Yeah, I really like to for them sometimes, especially with the sessions I've missed when I'm just doing stuff at home. I only started actually listening to podcasts recently, and I think part of that was because I just started listening to poetry in the background of doing stuff. Yeah. What is next week's theme? I pulled it up to look and then just didn't actually look other than for dates of future stuff. I'm excited for the Valentine's Day one.
I think it might be me. Reflection, I think we're on.
Ooh.
Is that right?
Ooh, that is a good topic.
Yeah, so it's just looking back, contemplative. Or, yeah, that's the plan.
Sounds like a good candidate for a lot of whimsy.
Yeah, yeah.
We could totally sneak a few death ones in there.
How dare you? How dare you?
But a lot of them are quite reflection-y.
Yeah, there's a lot of really like beautiful but dark reflection-y ones in there that I'm like, ooh. But also, just gonna avoid one of the sections entirely because I'm like, let's just not go into the eating disorder section. I don't want to trigger anyone. There's like a whole really good section of this on that though, if depressing poems about eating disorders is anyone's.
Anyone got any fun plans for tomorrow?
Decorating the Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.
We're either doing ours tonight or tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Do you have chocolate coins in the tree?
Can I read you a poem that I discovered today?
Yes, please.
And obviously, because I really love it, it's by Neil Gaiman. Oh, also, my Secret Santa present came, and it's a book, and it's really hard not to open it.
I'm meant to have hidden it, aren't I?
Yeah, you are meant to have hidden it. Did you hide it?
Are we supposed to go to the solstice party to open them?
I mean, I wait until Christmas Day. That's when I open my presents.
Oh, that's fair. I do not have that kind of patience. I'm impressed with you. Alex has to hide the parcels from his parents when they show up for me. Though there was one that like had some decorations in it recently, but I'll let you read the stuff.
It's called Dark Sonnet. I don't think that I've been in love as such, although I liked a few folk pretty well. Love must be vaster than my smiles or touch, for brave men died and empires rose and fell for love. Girls follow boys to foreign lands, and men have followed women into hell. In plays and poems, someone understands there's something makes us more than blood and bone, and more than biological demands. For me, love's like the wind, unseen, unknown. I see the trees are bending where it's been. I know that it leaves wreckage where it's blown. I really don't know what I love you means. I think it means, don't leave me here alone.
My heart.
With pretty pictures.
I'm so enamored of these books with pretty pictures. I may have bought several books of these for people for presents. Which reminds me, I have a secret Santa who I need to buy a present for, and I'm going to write that on my hand right now.
I think I'm gonna do that. Oh no, I am my recommendation. I have a friend who lives in the city that my secret Santa lives in to get local bookstores from.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Can I? I'm sorry for interrupting, but I'm going to go out as well. It was a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for reading your poem. It was really lovely.
Bye. I'm going to head off as well. Have a good night, everyone. See you soon.
In here, they hide everything next door. So the neighbor has a pile of all our things. Because if I find them, I'll open them.
I feel like now I can say at least we don't have to give our stuff to the neighbor. That's hilarious. I'm glad it's not just me.
I'm all about that delayed gratification. It works with books. It works less well with edibles.
There. I'm the opposite. I will devour a book once I get into it, but if it's like food, I'm pretty good at making foods last lately if it's something I really, really want to savor. But I also worked in a chocolate store for a couple of years, so I had to learn to do that. I also did ice cream and hot chocolates and coffees, and let me tell you, there's nothing better than coffee with a scoop of triple chocolate ice cream in it in the morning.
Yum.
Does the ice cream go in the coffee?
Yeah, just like instead of milk or cream, just mix it in, and sometimes you get like a little cold bit at the bottom.
Oh.
I'll just have the ice cream, thanks. You can keep the coffee.
Fair.
Sounds nice, actually. I'm going to try that if I get the chance.
Milk mint chocolate was pretty good too if you're into like peppermint type stuff. It was almost candy caney. I spent a lot of time being like, what weird ice cream would taste good in this coffee? Because, you know, if you leave someone with poor impulse control alone in an ice cream and chocolate shop and they're allowed to and supposed to taste things so they can talk to customers about it.
Yeah, put it in instead of milk and sugar. Just put a dollop of ice cream in the top and let it cool it. Yeah. Salted caramel.
I discovered a super easy way to make mint hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Drop a couple after 8s in it and a little bit of cocoa powder.
That sounds great.
Yep.
We just finished our after
1 mug of milk, 2 or 3 after 8s, however much cocoa powder you want to put in it, shove it in the microwave for a bit.
Nice.
Everything will melt together and be amazing.
I'm gonna run away.
Because it's in the upgrades.
Thank you for hosting, Katie.
Thank you, everyone.